Hello everyone, nice to have you here. Avrengost here, and this time I'm talking about the new Arcline demo distributed for Steam Next Fest. It is being developed by Dreamate, a small indie studio, and will be published by Fulqrum Publishing. As of now, I'm not aware of the release date. New Arcline is a CRPG set in a steampunk world where technology and magic are in strong contrast with each other. If you're getting Arcanum vibes here, I did too. Since I recently played Sovereign Syndicate, I was quite interested in trying this game as well. In this setting, sorcerers and magic once ruled the world when it was on the brink of chaos, filled with magical creatures like unicorns and dragons. The source of their magic was kept secret. It's implied that during the era of the sorcerers, people were kept in a primitive state, pushed into the shadows. But then, an unnamed hero rose to bring justice, slipping into the heart of their secret knowledge and toppling them. This hero granted freedom to humanity, and the ancient magic seemingly dissolved into the dust of time. Thus, a new era began, the era of humanity, with science at its core. Engineers and inventors became the new wizards, transforming the world. But magic wasn't truly gone. Sorcerers began to rise again in forgotten corners of the world, praying to their idols and awakening lost powers. It's implied that the game's central theme will be choosing whether to follow the call of magic or the path of progress. Character creation promises to be fairly in-depth, but for the demo we can only choose between two races, human and elf, and two classes, diesel engineer and voodoo shaman. Character customization offers a decent number of options, and I imagine there will be more character portraits when the game is officially released. After selecting your race and class, you are offered 6 traits to choose from, each unique with possible bonuses and maluses to your stats and skills. There are 6 stats ranging from 3 to 10, and 18 skills ranging from 15 to 100, at least from what I saw. Without going too deep into the system, I'll say that if you've played D&D 5th edition or any similar RPG, adapting to this system isn't too difficult since it's quite familiar. Hovering over any stat or skill provides a decent description and a nice illustration, much like Fallout. Checks are made using a D10 for stats and a D100 for skills, with difficulty modifiers applied. If you roll below your stat or skill score, you pass. What I find interesting is that there are 3 technology skills, Steam, Diesel and Tesla, and 3 magic skills, Celestial, Voodoo and Occult, which are mutually exclusive on a macro category level. To put it plainly, you can have tech skills or magic skills, but not both, at least in the demo. I'm not sure if this will change with other classes or as the story develops, but it seems to fit the deep division between technology and magic that the setting emphasizes. Leveling up grants you more skill points to allocate and perks to choose from. In the demo, the story doesn't change whether you're a diesel engineer or a voodoo shaman, but they expect this to be different in the full release given the setting. In the roughly hour and a half gameplay offered to us, we get to explore a part of the slums in Newark City. We become involved with an old man who asks us to go to the leprosarium to find a doctor for his sick wife. Of course, the leprosarium isn't what it seems, and following this quest thread takes us around the cordon-off part of the slums. We talk to people, get exposed to lore, and witness events happening in the city through dialogue. The game seems like it won't shy away from some dark stuff, like a terrible plague that turns people into stone, or mining incidents that melt people together. The demo also gives you a companion straight from the beginning, and an interesting note is that he seems to have his own opinions and can approve or disapprove of your actions. About combat, it feels like it's still in its early stages of development to me. It's turn-based, with the classic initiative queue at the top of your UI. It uses movement points and action points to spend on abilities. Equipment gives bonuses and possibly maluses, such as heavy armor, and in the demo we're already fully equipped. At this point, we only have 2 action points to spend on standard attacks or abilities with cooldowns, but it will be interesting to gain more of them at later levels. Everyone has an armor bar that you must deplete before chipping away at their HP, and this bar regenerates every round, including yours. I'm not sure of the reasoning behind this choice, but it will be interesting to see how it works in a fully developed combat system. It seems there will be a crafting system, gathering components and assembling them to build new items, and the possibility to salvage parts from machines or repair them. This is only hinted at in the demo, so we'll have to see how it will be once fully implemented. In a world like this, the ability to craft feels essential. Now, I know this is just a demo and a lot might change before the release, but I want to highlight the map and the journal. They look drawn and written by hand, which adds a nice immersive touch in a steampunk game. The music is also something I really enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from the game's soundtrack. This pretty much sums up my thoughts on New Arc Line, a steampunk CRPG that shows a lot of promise. Fingers crossed. And now that I'm recording it, I find it interesting that the city name sounds almost like New York or Newark. Right now, it's still rough around the edges, especially with the camera. It tends to jump around when you rotate it with Q and E, and although it tries to follow you when you move, it doesn't always work well. Additionally, dialogue responses get stuck for a while before progressing. However, I'm not sure how far the game is from early access or a full release. The current version is 0.12, so it feels like an early build. Anyway, that wraps this one up. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. As always, please like, comment and subscribe. It helps me reach more gamers around the world. Take care of yourself and see you in the next video.